Good morning student. In our previous video we have completed till measuring mass. We have studied about mass measuring, various mass measuring devices. Today onwards in this video we are going to see measuring time. First we will understand about what time is. First we will learn the definition of time. Time, we can say that time is a duration. Time is a duration of an activity, or you can say time is a duration in which things occur. This can be the definition of time. Time is a duration, or you can say time is an interval of an activity, that how much time it is taking to occur, or you can say in which the things occur. Now time is very necessary in our daily life because we have to keep the knowledge of the time for some part, like when our school starts. For this we have to know the time. Then when we have to play, for these things we have to keep time in our mind. Now there are various ways for measuring time. There are various unit for measuring time. The smallest unit is second. The smallest unit for measuring time is second. Then after minute, then after hours, then after day, then week, then fortnight, then month, then year, decade. Like this there are so many units by the help of which we can measure the time. If the interval or if the duration is very much less, we will measure the time in second. If it is little bit more, then we will measure in minute. If it is big, we will measure in hour. If it is more than hour, then we will measure in day. If it is more, then week, then fortnight, then month. If it is very big, then we can measure in decade. Then we can measure in silver jubilee, quarter jubilee, silver jubilee you can say. Then century you can say. These are the unit of time. In millennium also, let us see decade. 10 years is equal to 1 decade. Decade is the interval of 10 year. 100 year is equal to 1 century. It means an interval of 100 year is called century. An interval of 1000 years is called millennium. These are the unit of the time. You can see in your book also. Now next topic we will see time measuring devices. As we have seen so many time measuring devices, the first time measuring devices we better know, that is clock. Then after, the second time measuring device is sundial. Third is sand clock, and fourth is water clock, and at the last, modern watches. These are the various time measuring devices by the help of which we can keep the track of the time. We can track the time. Now let us see one by one these measuring devices. These are the, we can say, these are the time measuring devices. Let us see one by one these time measuring devices. The first time measuring devices is clock. We all are aware of the clock. We used to measure the time. We used to watch the time by the clock, and this clock moves in a periodic motion. The next is sundial. Sundial, we can see that a sundial measures time by the position of the shadow cast by the sun. The process of measuring time is the position of the shadow which is being cast by the sun. There are certain sundial in our country also, like in Jantar Mantar in Delhi. Jantar Mantar is there. This one is also one more sundial which measures the time, which gives us knowledge about the time. Next is sand clock. You might have seen this sand clock somewhere, that this has two container, and one container is filled with sand. When we will revert it, the sand will start flowing slowly, and the time duration of the sand, we have to keep in mind that suppose if we have filled the sand in upper level and the entire sand will come to lower level within 1 hour, it means that in 1 hour it will flow from one level to another level. Like this we can understand the length of the time or interval of the time. Next is water clock. The same like sand, this also water clock. Here one point is being left and from that point drop water is coming out. It means that it also shows us the interval of time, that in 1 hour it will empty the vessel or in 2 hour it will empty the vessel. Like this we can measure the interval of the time. Next, at the last, it is modern watches. As we all know about modern watches, that is also known as quartz, that we wear in our wrist, like a non-digital quartz watch, digital. These two are analog and digital watches. These two watches you all are familiar with, that these watches are being used for measuring time. Hope that measuring time is quite clear to you all. Next we will see the next topic, that is temperature. Next we will see temperature. Next we will study about temperature. In temperature, first we will study the definition of the temperature. We can define temperature as temperature is the measurement of hotness or coldness of a body. We can define temperature as temperature is the measurement of hotness or coldness of the body. It means by temperature we can measure that how much hot the body is or how much cold the body is. There are several unit of measurement. There are several unit of temperature, we can say, that is degree Celsius. We can write degree Celsius, then degree Fahrenheit, and next is Kelvin. These are the unit of temperature and Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. Here we will learn how to convert degree Celsius into Fahrenheit, how to convert degree Celsius into Kelvin. First we will learn degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. There is a mathematical formula and you might have studied in mathematics in class 5 also, that temperature to degree Fahrenheit, it is being done by this formula, degree centigrade into 9 by 5 plus 32. This is the formula for converting degree centigrade into Fahrenheit. And degree centigrade or Celsius to Kelvin, there is a formula, temperature Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius plus 273. This is the formula for converting degree Celsius into Kelvin. Now we will move to measuring temperature devices. Devices used for measuring temperature. Now which are the devices? As we all know that the best device is thermometer, which is used for measuring temperature of a body. Thermometer are also of various type. The first type of thermometer is laboratory thermometer. Second type is clinical thermometer. these are the two types, and one more is there, that is digital thermometer. These are the three types of thermometer which is used to measure the hotness or coldness of the object. Now, laboratory thermometer. If we learn about laboratory thermometer, it has certain range of temperature. That means it has minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degree Celsius. Laboratory thermometer measures the temperature in this range, minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degree Celsius. Laboratory thermometer measures the temperature within this range. Now you can see the figure of laboratory thermometer in page number 36 given in your book. This is the diagram of laboratory thermometer, in which here bulb is there and it is filled with mercury. Whenever this bulb executes or is given some heat, the mercury will start expanding and it will rise up, and by this process it will show the temperature of the body. There are certain precautions which is to be used for using laboratory thermometer. It should be held vertically like this, like it is kept. It should be held like that. It should not be tilted. It should not be kept tilted. The thermometer bulb should be surrounded from all the side by a substance whose temperature is to be measured. In laboratory thermometer, the bulb, this bulb, the starting point of the thermometer, that means the bulb, it should be surrounded by the object which is whose temperature we are measuring. The thermometer bulb should not touch the side or bottom of the container. The bulb should not touch the container side. Read the thermometer while its bulb is still in touch with the substance. We have to read the thermometer. It means we have to read the temperature of the thermometer when the thermometer's bulb is connected with the substance. Read the thermometer by keeping the level of mercury along the line of sight. We have to read the thermometer like this when we are able to see the mercury. Do not hold the thermometer by bulb. We should not hold the thermometer from here. We should hold it from top. Handle the thermometer with care. It can break if hit against any hard object. Since the thermometer is made up of glass, if it is hit by any object, it can break. The second type of thermometer is clinical thermometer, and it has also some range. It also measures range from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degree Celsius. This is called clinical thermometer, which we are using for measuring the temperature of the body, which measures from 35 degree to 42 degree Celsius. You can see here in the diagram also, this is the thermometer which often we are using for the temperature, measuring temperature of the body, of the human body. Here also it consists of same thing. Here in the first bulb is there, then after mercury is filled inside it. Whenever in the bulb any object is being contact, then the mercury will start expanding. When the heat is being provided to the bulb, the mercury will start expanding and it will show the temperature of the object. Now there are also certain precautions which should be followed for using thermometer, that is clinical thermometer. The clinical thermometer should be washed before and after use. When we are using clinical thermometer, it should be washed before and after the use also. Second, before using the clinical thermometer, we should ensure that the mercury level in its tube is below 35 degree mark. When we are going to use the clinical thermometer, we should be sure that the mercury level should be below 35 degrees Celsius. Third point, read the clinical thermometer by keeping the level of mercury along the line of sight. The same, the thermometer which we have to keep in such a way so that the mercury inside the thermometer is visible to us. Again, in the same clinical thermometer, we should not strike the mercury thermometer by any hard object, otherwise it will break. Now next is digital thermometer. Nowadays you might have seen in the coronavirus, The thermometer which we are using, like a gun thermometer, they are like a digital thermometer. It does not touches the body. It works on infrared radiation, which captures the temperature of a body, which we are watching in television also. For the screening purpose we are using that gun like thermometer. They are the digital thermometer. Next we will study measuring area. Our next topic is measuring area. First we will learn the definition of area. We can define area as surface occupied by any object is called its area. Definition says that surface occupied by any object is called its area. Surface means the ground part. The ground part which an object is acquiring or occupying, that will be termed as its area. Now there are certain mathematical figure whose area can be calculated by certain formula, and you can see given in page number 40, there are certain shapes like square. The area for square is side into side. This we can calculate by using formula. Area of rectangle we can calculate by multiplying its length and breadth. Then triangle, we can calculate the area of triangle by using formula half into base into height. These are the mathematically known figures whose area we can calculate by providing formula. For calculating area of circle we can use pi r square. These are the formulas which are used for calculating the area. Now unit of area is meter square. This is the SI unit of area, meter square. And as we have studied the smaller and larger unit also, the smaller unit is centimeter square, this one is a smaller unit, and larger unit is kilometer square. These are the larger unit of area, but the SI unit of area is meter square. Now let us understand one more concept for the graph. Here these figures are mathematically defined, that's why we are having formula. Suppose a figure is there which is not mathematically defined. Suppose this is the figure, this is not mathematically defined. How we can calculate the area of this figure? This can be calculated by using graph paper. Let us perform an activity by using graph paper. How we can calculate the area of an object? Here you can see a graph type paper is being made in your book. Here it has written, as we all know that the graph paper contains small boxes, and each box is having area of 1 centimeter square. Each box is equal to area of 1 centimeter square. Now how we will calculate? Let us calculate this area. Suppose I have drawn a figure like this. This figure we will calculate the area. What we will do? We will calculate the number of full box and more than half box, leaving the number of less than half box. Let us see, this is the first box which is more than half, we will take it. This one is more than half, we will take it. This one also more than half. This one is less than half, so we will ignore it. This one is full, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and rest are less than half, so we will leave it. Here we can say that the area of this figure is 11 centimeter square. How? Because since one box is equal to 1 centimeter square, like this we can calculate the area of those figure which is not mathematically known. Up to here your chapter is being completed. Now in the next video we will be doing our question and answer.